Hi everyone, it's Chris Tuck here. I've been asked for the Empowering the Invisible project to talk about the letter H. Now, H for me is about health. It's about knowing that the mind and the body and the spirit are all interconnected and interrelated. And once you get your brain around that, what I'm going to go on to speak about becomes a lot easier. So for me, stress is a massive player on how we feel mentally and physically and emotionally. So we've got big rock stress like childhood abuse, like relationships, work, health. And then we've got little rock stress, which is the day-to-day drip stress, what we're going to have for dinner, who's going to pick the kids up, who's going to walk the dog, having arguments with this person and that person. So they can be little rock stress. But in the background for many survivors, we've got this massive rock stress going on as well. All of the adverse childhood experiences that we've gone through is still impacting our lives in our adult lives. So our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions are all interlinked. So if we think a positive thought, we will feel nice, we will feel happy, we will feel positive, we will feel great. And that in turn usually leads to some kind of action that is positive for us, that makes us feel better and builds our self-esteem. However, if we feel something negative, or we experience a trigger, or we experience a nightmare or a night terror or something, that will trigger our alarm system that's in our head, the amygdala and the hippocampus. And if the alarm system is constantly triggered, this in turn releases the stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline. And over time, if these stress hormones are continually on, it can cause big damage to our mind and our body, our whole health, our whole self. So what we need to do is to deal with the stress so that we can stabilize our fight, flight, friend, freeze, flop response. So if we can turn off the amygdala and the hippocampus, we can stabilize it, we put the pin back in the hand grenade, then we are able to turn off the hormones, the stress hormones. And if we are successful at dealing with our stress on a day-to-day basis and dealing with the big rock stress with specialist support or peer-to-peer support or a mix of both, then we will be able to lead a happier and healthier life in the long term. Now, I know that my mood will affect the food choices that I make. So when I'm down and depressed and unhappy and triggered, I want to eat something sweet. And if I continuously eat lots of sweet food over a long period of time, this also will impact my mood. So food affects mood choices, and the mood that you're in will affect your food choices. And this was Corrie Withall come up with that quote for me, and unfortunately Coral's no longer with us. So I just wanted to talk about the 7 pillars of health that I came up with through the Cleaner Living program. Now, Cleaner is a mnemonic, so the C stands for clear, conscious mindset, L stands for lifestyle choices, E stands for the endocrine hormone system, A stands for anatomical alignment, which is your posture, N stands for nutrition, E for exercise, and R for rest and regeneration. And all of these pillars are interlinked and they impact each other. So even if you can't deal with all of the pillars all at once, having a positive, doing one pillar at a time will have a positive impact on all of the other pillars. So it's really important that we start working on at least one of the pillars. We can start taking a bit of the power and the control back. So a clear conscious mindset is about thinking about your goals, your dreams, your aspirations. And you might be in a place where everything just looks doom and gloom. You feel like you cannot undertake anything because your head's like a washing machine. You're being triggered left, right and centre. You're having nightmares, you're not having any sleep, you're not eating right, you're not exercising, you're feeling flat, you're feeling depressed, you've got aches and pains in your body, and nothing you do goes right. You might be in that place. And if you are, I've been there, guys, if you are in that place, you just need to go and start unpicking it a little bit at a time. And for me, it was about understanding the pillars and just taking action where I could. And then that gave me a bit more freedom over time to start looking at everything else. So, what are your goals and your dreams and your aspirations for your life? Because we've gone through abuse, but that doesn't make us the person we are for a lifetime. That makes us the person we are up to this point today. But the rest of our life, we can define ourselves in a different way. So the abuse that we suffered does not define us. So we really need to get that into our heads. Yes, we've gone through awful things. However, the rest of our life is our responsibility. Responsibility means the ability to respond, yeah? So we have that power within ourselves to be able to respond to different things. Again, you might need help with this. It doesn't just happen. Okay, so what are your goals, your dreams, your aspirations around your work, your education, your family, you personally? What is it that you want out of your life? Now, you can do lots and lots of workshops and read lots of books all around mindset, having conscious goals and how to go about achieving those goals. So I'm just touching on things today. Okay, so that's one, having clear conscious mindset. What is it do you want out of your life? Now, lifestyle choices is all about what we do on a day-to-day basis to start achieving things that we want, that we said that we want. Yeah, it's about making those taking those little actions so that we start achieving it is that we say we want. So for me, it's exercising every day. It's about healthy eating. It's about having some goodies when I want them. It's about educating myself. It's about speaking up. It's about just starting to live life, really, yeah? Okay. Endocrine system, this is the hormonal system. Now, the hormonal system, as I said, is interlinked with what we think and how we feel. So in order for our hormones to be happy and in balance, we need to start looking at what are our big rocks, what are our little rocks, and dealing with those stressors. Taking everyday actions to minimize the stress. And to start living our lives how we want our lives to pan out. Anatomical alignment is about posture. It's how we carry ourselves. Because, stress, the big rock stress and the little rock stress can cause dysfunction throughout our body. So emotional stress for me causes my hip pain. So if I've got a lot of hip pain going on, I know that there's something big going on anyway, because it's interlinked. Some people hold their stress in their shoulders, in their stomachs, in their legs, their arms. You can hold stress anywhere, and I hold my stress in my hips, as I've said. Exercise. Now, exercise releases endorphins, the chemicals. It relieves stress, it improves our mood, it boosts our self-esteem, it lifts depression, it metabolizes visceral fat, and it builds lean muscle mass, which changes our body shapes. That's why I love exercise, because not only does it lift my mood and I expend excessive energy, I also are able to change my body shape, and that makes me feel good. It makes me feel really good. The R is for rest and regeneration. So sleep is crucial for restoring bodily functions, for regenerating, and just for, it's really important if you find yourself that you are obese, for example. Sleep is a massive player in obesity. And mental health. If we don't sleep, we can feel cranky, we can eat the wrong foods for us that we need to be eating, we can, life is just like going through treacle when we don't have our sleep. So it's really important that we start, putting a bedtime routine in place, and de-stressing before bed, maybe doing some meditation, maybe listening to some music, maybe doing some Pilates, just to bring the brain down, getting off the phone an hour before bed, and doing something that's relaxing and mindful. And maybe you can do your journal of your wins for the day, what your goals are for the tomorrow, for next week, next month, next year. So you're constantly, consciously thinking about what it is that you want from your life. Now, as I said, all the 7 pillars of health are all interlinked and all interrelated. So it's really important that if you feel completely stuck in a rut, you start working on one of the pillars, and then it will have a positive impact on all of the other pillars. So I think I've said enough for the moment. If you want to find out more, please get in touch. Thank you. Bye.